Okay, welcome to our Saturday morning discussion with Ishan Prabhu from New Mexico. Ishan Prabhu, kindly introduce the topic and then we'll get going.
I was reading from Nectar of Devotion, and so I thought we could read a little bit and discuss whatever comes up. Okay. Om Agyana Timirandasya Gyanangana Salakaya Chakshuran Militam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manubhistam Stapitam Jena
Jena
Bhutale
Bhutale
Swayam Rupa
Rupa
Kada Mayam
Kadam Dadam.
Dadati Swapadanti Kam. Okay, let's see. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namane. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desha Tarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Yadaita Gadadha Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. So we are reading from the Nectar of Devotion, chapter 39. Different ways of meeting Krishna. Just imagine, we are on a path where we are going to meet Krishna. When Krishna and his devotees meet, the meeting is technically called yoga. That's the meaning of yoga, or linking up with the Lord. It's interesting because we're using computers and there's so many links. And with those links, we click on the link and we get connected. We get in yoga with some website, something like that. So Srila Prabhupada is writing here, it's, 50 years ago, and he's saying that yoga means linking up with the Lord. Such meeting between Krishna and his devotees, it can be divided into three classes. There are different ways of linking: perfection, satisfaction, and steadiness. When a devotee meets with Krishna in great eagerness, that state of meeting is called perfection. Okay, so this is very, very good because in the Nectar of Instruction, uh, Srila Rupa Goswami, I believe it's in the third verse, he talks about utsahan, enthusiasm. So here Srila Prabhupada writes that we have to be enthusiastic. We have to be enthusiastic. So uh, when the devotee meets with Krishna in great eagerness, that state of meeting is called perfection. Now, how can a person be enthusiastic? They need to have great faith.
Mm.
Uh, they need to have that this is a reality. This is another instruction of Srila Rupa Goswami. I think it's Nishchayat, something like that in Sanskrit, means confidence, but it doesn't mean confidence in ourselves. It means confidence that Krishna is aware of us and he's receiving our service, to be confident that he's taking note that we're trying to reinstate, rekindle, reawaken our dormant love for him. So when we have this confidence, we can be very enthusiastic and approach Krishna in that way. So there's a phrase in the English language, it's called a leap of faith. There was a philosopher, I think he was in Denmark in the 1850s. Oh, 1950, maybe 150 years ago. And
Mm.
he was part of a religious community. So his name was Kierkegaard. Kierkegaard.
That's in the
And
dialectic spiritualism book. Is that what you're talking about?
yeah, I think so.
Yes. Okay.
I didn't read his book, but I looked him up online
Acha.
because this phrase came to mind, leap of faith. And a leap of faith, it doesn't mean that maybe it's real, maybe it's true, but and I'll just try and see if it works. It doesn't
Mm.
mean that at all. What
Oh.
a leap of faith means is that I accept it 100%,
Ah.
even though I haven't had the experience yet.
Ah.
And I take it up with great enthusiasm.
Mm.
And that's what's required in order to have a Krishna conscious experience of reciprocation with Krishna and Krishna's pure devotee. We have to approach as if we know from the bottom of our heart without any doubt that this is real, and we leap into it,
Mm.
and this is what's required. That's why Srila Prabhupada says Krishna consciousness is only a question of understanding and accepting.
Mm.
So to make this leap of faith, that is the measure of our acceptance. How much a person can chant their japa and be in kirtan, do so many Krishna conscious activities, cooking for Krishna, cleaning for Krishna, distributing books for Krishna.
Right.
So, and he could be thinking, one day, maybe one day, I'll have realization and reciprocation from Krishna. He's thinking maybe. But if a devotee has the ability to simply understand this philosophy and embrace it 100%, to the degree that he can do that, his sense of reciprocation is there immediately in the moment. He tastes the nectar of devotion. Therefore, Srila Prabhupada tells us that one can be Krishna conscious in a second. It's simply a matter of understanding and accepting. So here, so Srila Prabhupada's writing, when the devotee meets with Krishna in great eagerness, that state of meeting is called perfection. In the Krishna Karnamrita, Bilba Mangal Thakur, he describes how Krishna meets his devotee. It's very interesting because Bilba Mangal Thakur, he lived in Vrindavan. He was a Brahmin from South India, I think maybe in the 700 AD or something like that. Quite a long time ago. But Srila Prabhupada writes that he lived in Vrindavan for 700 years, which is inconceivable to a person like myself, that someone should live for 700 years. But Srila Prabhupada says, anyway, he was a Brahmin, but he became very intimate with a prostitute.
Mm.
And the prostitute's name was Chintamani.
I was thinking about this the other day, so we're reading
Oh,
about it today.
so, and she, apparently there was a great storm and the river was flooded. And Bilvamangal Thakur had to get across the raging river, and then he had to climb over a wall in the torrents of rain. And Chintamani, she was a devotee. Her profession was that she was a prostitute, but she was a great devotee, and she told Bilba, if you put in the same effort for cultivating Krishna consciousness, you would become an associate of Krishna.
Mm.
And so he left and he took up residence in Vrindavan, and he became an intimate associate of Krishna. So he wrote this book, Krishna Karnamrita. In the Krishna Karnamrita, Bilba Mangal Thakur, he describes how Krishna meets his devotee with a peacock feather on his head, with Marakata jewels on his chest, and with his ever enchanting smile, his restless eyes, and his very delicate body. So we will meet Krishna like that. In the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, in the 38th chapter, 31st verse, Shukadev Goswami, he tells Maharaj Parikshit. Now, Maharaj Parikshit is sitting on the bank of the Ganges. He's a king.
Mm. Right.
And he's going to die within 7 days. So he wants to know, what should I do in these 7 days in order to prepare for death? He was cursed. He was a Kshatriya, and the Kshatriyas, they have to practice their skills of killing, because to protect citizens from invasion and things of that nature, or to punish the wrongdoers, Kshatriya has to take care of business. So he was out in the forest one day and he was very thirsty. And he came across a sage. A sage was sitting in meditation. And the Maharaj Parikshit wanted some water. But the sage would not stir because he was so deeply in meditation, engrossed. So by Krishna's arrangement, Krishna made, although Maharaj Parikshit was, I think he was grandson of Maharaj Parikshit, grandson, or
Arjuna,
was he the son of one of the
Abhimanu's son.
Abhimanyu's son? That's right. Abhimanyu was the son of Arjun, and Arjun was his son, Maharaj Abhimanyu, uh, his son was Maharaj Pariksit. So he was a great devotee. He had seen Krishna when he was in the womb on the battlefield of Kurukshetra after the war at the very end. And Aswatthama, he was on Duryodhana's side in the war, and he had mystic power, how to cause weapons, uh, um, what were astra, the Brahmastra. And there are different astras, different weapons that one can launch with mantra. Imagine a real Brahmin can do like, of course, today we don't have such powerful Brahmins. So, but he sent, and the astra was sent towards Maharaj Parikshit. He was in the womb of his mother, and Krishna came within the heart of of his mother. Do you remember the name of his mother? I don't offhand.
Anyone here remember the name? I can say it. I don't remember.
So Krishna went into the womb and saved Aswatthama from the Brahmastra. So he had seen, so Parikshit
Say
means
Parikshit. Yeah, you said Ashwatthama.
Aswatthama. So Parikshit means the examiner. That all, wherever he went and whoever he was seeing, where is Krishna that I've seen in the womb? All his life, whatever he was doing, he was examining everything to see if he could find Krishna, Maharaj Parikshit. So, where I am. So,
My dear king.
yes, so he then, when he met the sage, when he grew up and he became king, he met the sage in the forest, and the sage was deep in meditation. Krishna made Maharaj Parikshit, although he was a very great devotee, Mahabhagavat devotee. Krishna made Maharaj Parikshit become impatient and annoyed that I'm a Kshatriya, I'm a king of this whole country, this whole place, and you're not giving me water. He picked up a dead snake with the tip of his bow and arrow, with his bow, and he placed it like a garland on the neck of the sage. When the son of the sage came to see his father and saw him with the snake, oh, he became furious. And because he was, even though he was only a boy, he was already gifted with the ability to curse by mantra. And he made a curse that Maharaj Parikshit, he's putting snake on my father. He will die by snake bite within 7 days. Srila Prabhupada explains that Maharaj Parikshit, he had the ability, because he was such a great devotee, to counteract the curse.
Mm.
But he accepted
Right.
completely without hesitation. Very good. So so he sat down on the bank of the Ganges, waiting for this particular kind of snake called snake bird. It has also snake, but also has wings. You come and bite him. So he would then leave his body. And all the great sages, they somehow became aware that the emperor of the planet in those days was emperor of the planet, and the subordinate kings, they would accept his rulership. So kings came from different places, sage came from different places, even from other planets, demigods came from, and, and there was some discussion what he should do. And what happened? This is in like a jungle setting in a forest. Shukadev Goswami appears. Shukadev Goswami is the son of Srila Vyasadeva. And he was in the womb, Srila Prabhupada says, for 16 years. He didn't want to come out. He was self-realized, he was not a devotee, but not a bhakta, but he was Brahman realized. He understood, I'm not this body, I'm spiritual substance. And he didn't want to be part of the world. That when he came out, he immediately left home. Immediately.
Mm.
And Srila Vyasadeva, his father, he, he chased after him. Oh, my son, oh, my son. In any case, over time, Shukadev Goswami, he heard the chanting of Srimad Bhagavatam from Srila Vyasadeva. He heard all about Krishna and he became a devotee, but he was a certain kind of devotee. What do they call them? There's a word that they have no connection with anything social. Avaduta.
Akinchana. Oh, no, okay.
Akinchana is good too, but he was avaduta. He's just like a mad person. He was like a mad person. He was completely naked, and he would wander in the jungles and the forests, go from town to town. And the children, they didn't know what is an abbot. They cannot, just like people cannot sometimes understand who is Srila Prabhupada, that he's a confidential associate of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Nitya Siddha, a confidential associate of Krishna in the spiritual world, always in touch with Krishna, and that he comes. Who is Srila Prabhupada? That Lord Chaitanya, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna himself, said every town and village on this planet, there will be the chanting of the holy name, the chanting of Krishna. But he didn't do that job himself. He went through India, South India, North India, like that. But in Mayapur, but he didn't spread to the whole planet. There was this very, very special associate of Krishna who was going to be given that responsibility, that pastime of spreading, and that is Srila Prabhupada,
Right.
Lord Chaitanya's intimate associate who spread Krishna consciousness to the whole planet. So Shukadev Goswami, he's roaming about. He's a Mahabhagavata devotee of the Lord. But after all, he's engaged in the pastime. We're reading the Srimad Bhagavatam today, and
Nectar
that's
devotion.
Bhagavatam today that is on everybody's shelf, on all the devotees' shelves. and in their hands, and they're reading how they can understand who is and what is the Supreme Personality of
Robert,
Godhead that is given to us by the mercy of Srila Shukadev Goswami. So, and Maharaj Pariksit. So Shukadev Goswami is wandering, and as he's passing through town, Srila Prabhupada writes, the children did not recognize. They're thinking he's a mad person because he's oblivious to all social convention. Imagine someone, you're going now in your city, wherever you're living, into the mall for shopping, and some man is coming and he's chanting, oblivious to everyone, and he's chanting the holy name of Krishna, and sometimes laughing, sometimes crying, and he's completely naked.
Right.
This is Shukadev Goswami. So Srila Prabhupada writes, even the children would urinate on him as he's passing in through the area where they're playing, because they don't know who he is. But he's not disturbed, because so when Shukadev Goswami enters the arena where Maharaj is sitting, Maharaj Pariksit is sitting, and all the sages from the planet and sages from different planets in the universe, they're all there to see, to be there at the passing of Maharaj Pariksit, because he's such a great devotee. When Shukadev Goswami, the Avaduta, enters this assembly, just walking nonchalantly, all the sages stand up. They have the eyes for recognizing that here is a pure devotee of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Here's a pure devotee of Krishna. So Maharaj Pariksit is asking Shukadev, what should a man do when he's going to die? And Srila Prabhupada says, we're all going to die. Maharaj Pariksit had 7 days notice. We have no notice. We can die at any moment. So what are we supposed to be doing? He says the thing we should be doing is always hearing and chanting the pastimes of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the glories of his name, his fame, his form, his pastimes, his entourage, his associates, etc. So that's what we're doing. So in the Krishna Karnamrita, Bilva Mangal describes, yes, and in the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, so Shukadev Goswami dictated the Srimad Bhagavatam as he had heard it and learned it from his father, Srila Vyasadeva. And this was recorded, his recitation of the Srimad Bhagavatam on the bank of the Ganga, while Maharaj Pariksit is waiting to leave his body by snake bite, in the presence of all the sages. The Srimad Bhagavatam is spoken and recorded, and we have this today, the pastimes of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So we can know what? So we can know what is life like in Krishna Loka. What is Krishna's relationship with all the devotees in Krishna Loka? What is to put it in words that we might use today, jargon, sociological jargon. What are the archetypal patterns of social relationship in the spiritual world. And there are, just like we have in this world, there are parents, there are friends, there are servants, there are conjugal lovers. All these things exist in the spiritual world. They exist in this world only because they exist in the spiritual world. There's a definition of, of the absolute truth is given in Atato Brahma Jignasa. Now that we've come, this is the what is the saying that is in the Vedanta Sutra. Now that we have come to this human form, we've been there 8,400,000 different species of life in the material universe. 8,400,000. And we've been through all of them. Evolving, evolving, evolving. Darwin has his idea of evolution, thinking that we were monkeys. Well, we were monkeys. Monkeys and everything else. The worm and the stool. But one lifetime after another, we evolve up to the human form of life. So, Atato Brahma Jignasa means that now that we've come up to the human form, what is our real business? Our real business is to inquire into the nature of the absolute truth. And the answer is given in the Vedanta Sutra, Janma Diyasya Jataha. Janma means appearance or birth. The nature of the absolute truth is that the absolute truth is the source from which everything, all emanation coming from that source. Everything that we have in the material world comes from that source. And therefore, we have parents, friends, lovers, servants in the material world because they're coming from the spiritual world where all these things exist. Therefore, the nature of the absolute truth is the source from which everything is coming. So, in the 10th canto, Srimad Bhagavatam, 38th chapter, Shukadev Goswami tells Maharaj Parikshit, 31st verse, 10th canto. He says, my dear king, Maharaj Parikshit is asking questions, and Shukadev Goswami is speaking. My dear king, as soon as Akrura, the chariot driver, saw Lord Krishna and his elder brother Balaram in Vrindavan, he immediately got down from the chariot, and he was greatly afflicted with affection for the transcendental Lord. He fell down upon his lotus feet to offer respectful obeisances. These are some of the instances of perfectional meetings with Krishna. So what happened then? When Krishna was here on this planet, Krishna, where is he? He was born in a prison house. Imagine when God comes to the planet to save us, he's taking birth in a prison house. King Kamsa, was actually Krishna's father was Vasudeva and his mother Devaki. Devaki is described as the sister of Kamsa, who was a great and powerful demon, very powerful demon. Ah, so, but when uh, um, when Vasudeva married Devaki before Krishna was born, there was a great procession with musical instruments playing and royal accompaniment of soldiers and a wonderful parade. And Kamsa, the powerful demon, he it's the custom that when they're married, they will go in a chariot, husband and wife, to their new home. And Kamsa, as the brother of Devaki, oh, he's taking the reins of the chariot and driving that chariot to Vasudev's residence. And all of a sudden, there's a great voice in the sky saying, Kamsa, you're such a fool. You're driving the chariot of your sister, and you do not know that the eighth child of this sister will kill you, will be the cause of your death.
Right.
And Kamsa immediately
Mm.
he takes out his sword and he grabs Devaki by the hair and he's going to cut her head off. And then Vasudeva begins to speak that this woman, she's your sister. You have a great reputation as a king. You'll lose your reputation. She's no harm to you. And he's going on in so many ways. So King Kamsa puts Vasudeva and Devaki in prison. They're in there for 8 years in the prison. And Kamsa is waiting for Krishna to be born so he can kill Krishna. This is the demoniac. He wants to kill God. So, in so many ways, Kamsa was so, then when Krishna was born, by his mystic power, all of the guards in the prison fell asleep. And all the doors open, and all the shackles on the wrists, on the body of Vasudeva became open. And Krishna had Vasudeva pick him up, baby Krishna, and take him to Vrindavan and switch the babies. At that time, the goddess Durga was born as the daughter of Mother Jashoda. Mother Jashoda is in Vrindavan, the wife of Nanda Maharaj. And Vasudeva, he switches the babies, puts Krishna, Mother Jashoda is so exhausted from giving birth that she's asleep. And she doesn't know who is her child. And so Krishna grows up as the foster son of Nanda Maharaj and Mother Jashoda, and they never knew that Krishna is not their real son. But as Krishna grows up in Vrindavan, he shows all his pastimes of his associates with his friends, with the household servants in the palace of Nanda Maharaj, with all the girls, the gopi girls, the cowherd girls. Nanda Maharaj is the king of the cowherd men, and they have so many cows, thousands. And Krishna has all his pastimes in Vrindavan growing up. And that's how we learn. It's a complete replica of what is life like in the spiritual world. So that we, hearing about such things, can come to understand how we can relate to Krishna in the spiritual world. Actually, Srila Prabhupada says every one of us has a spiritual identity. Each one of us has a spiritual form. And that form already has a certain relationship with Krishna, either as a friend, as a servant, as a parental affection feeling, or as one of Krishna's lovers. So, King Kamsa, he's sending so many demons to Vrindavan. That doesn't happen in the spiritual world. There are no demons. But here, in the material world, there are demons and demigods. The devotees are demigods. But there are demons. They don't like, even on the web, there are websites for atheists who are adamant there is no God. They're on the web, these demons. So it's not enough that they simply don't accept or believe the concept of God. It makes them very angry, and they're fighting how we can kill this idea of God and drive it out from the mind and hearts of everyone. They're working full-time engagement. So Kamsa is sending demons to Vrindavan because Narada Muni, he's encouraging Kamsa in this way. The person you want to kill, who's going to kill you, is already born. And Kamsa is trying to find out. And Krishna, so Kamsa has a plan. He's going to entice Krishna to come to Mathura, where King Kamsa is sitting on the throne as the king. And he's going to make a big, a festival. He's going to have a festival, and there's going to be in this a great arena to be was built for this festival, especially. A great arena was built, and King Kamsa, he's going to have a wrestling match. Just like today, we have boxing matches and wrestling matches, uh, martial arts matches, kickboxing matches, so many. Or just like in previous times in Rome, they had the Colosseum, and the prisoners would have to fight each other for public entertainment, imagine, or fight with lions for this all big like football arena, like a big football field with all the seats going up so high and people watching the fighters, the gladiators. So King Kamsa, he made the same arrangement. We're going to have big wrestling match, and there was very strong wrestlers, very thunderous, powerful, Mushtika, Chanura, like that. So he said, I'll invite Krishna here for this wrestling match, for this great festival, and the wrestlers will kill this Krishna. So he sends a Krura. Now, Akrura, these are all family members. They're all family members. Even Duryodhan, who's trying to replace King Yudhisthira, he's a family member. He's a cousin of the Pandavas. It's a family quarrel. So, anyway, King Kamsa, Krishna is related to Kamsa, because Kamsa is the brother of Devaki, and Devaki is the wife of Vasudeva, and Vasudeva and Devaki are the parents of Krishna. It's all family business, a family quarrel. So Akrura is uncle, Uncle Akrura. He's uncle of, but Akrura, he also has a position that he gives, he's a consultant like of Kamsa. He works for in the government like that. And he's trusted by Kamsa. Actually, Krura is a great, great devotee of Krishna. He loves Krishna very, very much, with tremendous awe and reverence, because he knows that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. All right. But Kamsa, trusting Akrura, he says, you go to Vrindavan. You go to Vrindavan and you get this Krishna and you bring him, Krishna and Balaram, you bring them to Mathura for this festival so I can have Krishna killed. So here we're reading that in the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, 38th chapter, 31st verse, Shukadev Goswami, there he's talking with Maharaj Pariksit, describing how this all happened. He says to Maharaj, my dear king, as soon as Akrura, the chariot driver, saw Lord Krishna and his elder brother Balaram in Vrindavan, what did he do? Immediately, he was coming on a royal chariot, golden chariot. He's a very prestigious personality. It's just like somebody today, we have prestigious personalities in the government. They have their own jets, private planes, and with all servants in it. So Akrura doesn't come in a private plane, comes on a golden chariot. And he comes to Vrindavan. He's meditating the whole way. I'm going to see Krishna. So he's very, very. So as soon as he sees Krishna, and this is being described by Shukadev Goswami, who's in naked and like a madman, but he's talking to the king, Maharaj Pariksit, and describing. He says, my dear king, as soon as Akrura, the chariot driver, saw Lord Krishna and his elder brother Balaram in Vrindavan, he immediately got down from the chariot, and he, being greatly afflicted with affection for the transcendental Lord, he fell down on the ground. He fell down upon his lotus feet. He fell down, touching the lotus feet of Krishna with his head, and uh, to offer his respectful obeisances. And these are some of the instances of a perfectional meeting with Krishna. So next paragraph. So Srila Prabhupada is explaining to us actually the nectar of devotion. Bhakti Rasam Rita Sindhu. Bhakti means love of Krishna. Sindhu means the ocean. There's a great ocean. What is that ocean made of? It's an ocean of love, an ocean of bhakti. Bhakti, and in that ocean of love of Krishna, there's so many different flavors of how different devotees have love for Krishna. Rasa, bhakti rasa, there are different rasas, 5 major rasas. You can have a relationship with Krishna as his parent. You can have a relationship with Krishna with parental affection, thinking that my little boy, if I don't feed him, how he will be okay. If I don't protect him, if I don't bathe him, if I don't dress him. So Mother Jashoda is feeling like that. That is a rasa of parental affection. And Nanda Maharaj think my dear son is so sweet. And sometimes Krishna is bringing the slippers of Nanda Maharaj to him, holding these wooden slippers on his little head. So this is parental affection. And then there's friendship. Krishna has so many friends in the spiritual world. And they're challenging Krishna. They're having sports. They're having sports and they're having wrestling matches and they're playing games and, and they're having teams that are challenging. One team is headed by Balaram, another team is headed by Krishna. And the losers of the game, they have to carry the winners on their shoulders. They're having so much, and none of them are thinking Krishna is God. Because Krishna, he enjoys these personal relationships. He enjoys the way in which his mother and father love him. He enjoys the love received from his friend. He enjoys the love that he receives from the gopi girls who are all in love with him. They can't stop thinking about him. So then, so this is Vrindavan. And Krishna comes to the material world so we can learn about the sociology of the spiritual world. And in this way, gradually become as attracted. Srila Prabhupada explains that gradually, when as we advance in Krishna consciousness, we become attracted to one of these patterns, one of these types of associates of Krishna who have love for him in one of these rasas. So Srila Rupa Goswami, he writes the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. This is a great ocean, Sindhu, of bhakti ras, of taste, great ocean of tastes of love of Krishna. And, and we were reading from that book. So that I gradually become attracted to one of the associates of Krishna. And then in the very advanced stages, one always meditates on a certain associate of Krishna and following in the footsteps, meditating, cultivating that love, same love, bringing our eternal rasa, our eternal love for Krishna, our dormant love for Krishna, back, waking up again, reawakening our dormant love of Krishna. So, Srila Prabhupada, so here, um, Akrura, he's being sent by Kamsa to to Vrindavan to bring Krishna to the sacrificial arena where they're going to have, which is like a coliseum, and the wrestlers will have the wrestling match, and the wrestlers will kill Krishna. Of course, it didn't work, and that is where King Kamsa, he met his death. That Krishna and Balaram, they killed first the great wrestlers and all the people in the audience. Each one was seeing Krishna different. All the ladies in the audience were seeing Krishna as the most beautiful Cupid. And some are thinking, oh, they're just children, because Krishna was 12, 13 years old. and the men are seeing him as a great hero. And like this, they're all seeing Krishna different. And then, and when Krishna kills them, Kamsa becomes enraged. He stands up and he starts to shout to his soldiers, kill him, kill him. And Krishna jumps up on the platform. Kamsa's raving, and Krishna jumps up on the platform where Kamsa's throne is, and Kamsa's sword is out, and he's whirling the sword back and forth, trying to hit Krishna. And Krishna grabs Kamsa by the hair, and he drags him down off the platform into the center of arena, and he straddles his chest, and he beats him fist over fist over fist. And he Kamsa gives up his life in the front of the whole kingdom that's gathered in that sacrificial arena. And then, just to prove to everyone that there's no more danger, just like a lion drags his prey, Krishna drags Kamsa across the floor, the earthen floor of the arena. So when Krura was sent, Krura was sent to bring Krishna to Vrindavan to be killed. He's a messenger of Kamsa, but he knows who Krishna is, and he has so much love for Krishna. He's fulfilling his his royal duty, but he so it says here, he falls down, he gets off his royal chariot, and he falls down on the lotus feet of Krishna, and he in great. So this is an example of meeting Krishna in a perfect way. So Srila Prabhupada continues, when a devotee meets Krishna after a long separation, this is called satisfaction. Oh, I missed Krishna so much. And now I'm meeting him again. In the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, 11th chapter, the 9th verse, first canto, it is stated that when Lord Krishna returned to his capital, Dwarka, the inhabitants, they began to talk like this. They were talking to Krishna. He's been away from Dwarka. Krishna left Vrindavan, and this is so much. Cannot talk about everything at once, but he's like a king in Dwarka, and he's been away. Krishna was away at the Battle of Kurukshetra for 18 days. And how much time have I spoken, Prabhu? I've spoken that long. Well,
It's about an hour and 9 minutes or something.
Then it's time. I'll finish this one paragraph.
Sure.
And we'll summarize. So Krishna, he was away from Dwarka at the Battle of Kurukshetra. At different times he was away, and driving the chariot of Arjuna. He's God, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and a chariot driver. A chariot driver is a very low position in the social order. Krishna is taking the position of chariot driver of his devotee. That when God loves his devotee, when we love Krishna, Krishna will do all kinds of things. Srila Prabhupada says we can purchase Krishna with our love. So when Krishna returned to his capital, Dwarka, the inhabitants, they all began to say, my dear Lord, if you remain in foreign countries for so long, we shall certainly be bereft of seeing your smiling face. And upon observing your face, we, who are your eternal servitors, we become so satisfied, so happy. But when you're not here, we can't see your smiling face. All the anxieties of our existence when we see you again are immediately mitigated. If we cannot see you because you are so long away from Dwarka, long absent, then it will be impossible for us to live anymore. They're telling Krishna, if we can't see you, we're going to lose our life. We won't be able, that's how much we love you. This is an instance of satisfaction in the heart in meeting Krishna after long separation. This is Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Okay, Prabhu, where do we go?
Well, we have crossed an hour and probably
10?
10 minutes, probably, yeah. So, any discussion, or we have Somagiri Prabhu from Hungary joining us, and yourself and myself. All
We're
right.
all sitting on the bank of the Ganges
Yeah.
with Maharaj Parikshit and Shukadev Goswami.
Try. Okay, Ishan Prabhu, then if there's no discussion points, we can end it here. We'll see everyone again next week at 5 a.m. my time, California time.
Thanks, Prabhu, so much for giving me an opportunity like this.
No
And
problem. You're welcome.